So far, we've lost a minigame per lap. This will bring us to the next stage with the red Shy Guys and a different map. And the music gets a little more intense, by which I mean tempo changes. I'm gonna keep my eyes on Waluigi this time, since apparently his sole reason for existence was okay, well, he's not here anymore. So I guess that means Waluigi gets the last laugh.
Not.
This is one of those minigames where you can't really lose unless the AI gets in your way. So really, you would just want to give yourself a wide berth from all the other characters. That's the strategy that you have to take for this minigame. You gotta make sure that whoever your AI opponents are nowhere near you. There you go. As long as you're far away from them, you're fine. So this is an easy minigame because all you gotta do is memorize which side the gate is on first. And I spent so much time explaining that now I'm not positively sure where the gate is, so I might mess that up. Okay, there we go. Once you do that, the pattern literally always alternates, so all you gotta watch out for are the pipes in the middle. The idea is to turn as little as possible while still getting to the correct gate, because the turning is what slows you down more than actually hitting stuff might. So you gotta really be cautious about that. There you go. Nice, slick, simple motions usually do the trick. Alright, see, like that? That's not what I meant. Here we go. Target tag. Alright, now this minigame is actually really easy, but it can psych you out into believing it's hard. What you gotta do is go for the high painted targets, and if you can't get those, at least go for the ones you can get. The biggest issue that you're gonna face, honestly, is other aggressive players who may try to push you into things. As long as you avoid the Bowser targets, you're already off to a great start. Like, that was not great, but I'm still gonna come in first because the AI somehow managed to do even worse than I did. Spinner Cell. Okay, now this one's kind of a strange beast because you have to use 2 joysticks to try to defeat your opponents. So that's a dent. That's okay though, because the game is going to let me do another challenge, and I think this time I will perform better. This is just Shy Guy Says with another branding on it, and I love that personally. Also, Shy Guy always picks the sign that you're standing on first. I don't know why he does, but he always does. Eventually, you gotta start jumping. And it gets really frantic near the end. Usually, you gotta hope that the other guy will mess up first.
Finish!
Like that. I was getting to a point where I was gonna have to be relying on frames. I'm glad it didn't come to that. And here we go again. I love how Yoshi acts all surprised every time. Flash Fry. Okay, now this one is blatantly unfair, frankly. Like, the person who has the flashlight has the easiest job in the world because they can see all the other characters. If they couldn't see all the other characters, then it might, might maybe resemble a challenge. But honestly, it's just not hard because all you gotta do is outmaneuver them, and that's really... Well, it's easy when the fly guy isn't in your way anyways. Like, all I gotta do is run into Waluigi.
Finish!
Like that. Remember what I said about it being blatantly unfair? But it's not so bad if you're the person who's actually being the one with the flashlight.
Yes! Victory is mine!
It's a tainted victory!
Yes! Tainted victory is mine!
Okay, this is one of the most anxiety-inducing minigames I've ever played, but it has an adorable animation. Look at that. She used his tongue to eat an apple. He never gets to do that in Mario Party. And this minigame is about to demonstrate why.
Go!
These monkeys will literally chase you down, and the first one that catches you, it's game over. So the idea is that you gotta make it a... I tried to memorize the GameCube layout pretty early on, so now what happens is I usually just psych myself out if I mess up. Here we go. It's time for another Bowser minigame. I kind of thought he'd be the final boss, but I guess not. Alright, now this is another one of those 4-player Bowser minigames. The difference is it's a vertical climb this time, and you still got to avoid all the possible obstacles. Waluigi's back, so I'm going to be watching him to try to hose me over. The good thing is that the Koopa Kids always follow the same pattern. So as long as you can remember what the pattern is, you're not going to have any problems staying out of the way. And what do you know, Waluigi's the first man down, making my life much, much easier. Now they'll do a straight down pattern, yep. And then they start doing some pretty crazy crisscrosses. These spikes actually pose more of a threat than the fire bars do. Partially because you can stay above the fire bars if you're really intentional about it. Like right there, that's where it gets a little dicey. And then you want to try to get as clear of these spikes as you can. And right about now is when they're going to pick up the speed, and at that point, if you're not in a constant state of motion, your goose is cooked. As I said though, they use the same patterns every time. So it's really not that hard once you've memorized it. And I'm home free.
Finish!
See what I mean? You know, Bowser, maybe you'd have better luck defeating me if you chose different patterns. Alright, now Balloonatic, this is another one of those minigames that just kind of makes you cringe if you're on the receiving end, because all they gotta do is hit you enough times. Granted, if you're clever, that can be very hard, but the fact that you only have 3 lives and their cannonballs move reasonably fast. Okay, well they're not even firing, so now I just feel embarrassed for pretending that this is actually a threat. Whew. It's funny they saved all their cannon fodder for the last 5 seconds. Oh, and we got an extra prize this time because this time I didn't actually get hit in the face with anything. And what do you know? Wow, that is a lot of treasure. That's a pretty big prize. And I've got a magic lamp. I remember this being an item in previous Mario parties, but in this minigame, apparently there's only one. And we got some other cool prizes. 1,600 points. That's not bad. And that's the end of the whole mode. Well, everybody, that's a wrap. Thanks for taking the time to hang out with me. It was a blast as always, and I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. See you on Friday. Ciao for now.